We all know that the consequences of the COVID pandemic and Putin's energy crisis have been severe, and many families and businesses are struggling, with soaring energy bills and a simultaneous rise in the cost of living. The UK government has recently revealed the latest set of figures on state spending, which show that they have borrowed less than initially anticipated, despite it being at the fourth highest level on records dating back to 1946. The Office for National Statistics conducted an overview of the data, revealing that there was an estimated gap of £139.2 billion between the state's revenue and its spending in the 12 months to March, which marks an increase of over £18 billion from the previous year. It is lower than the £152.4 billion forecast that the Office for Budget Responsibility issued alongside Chancellor Jeremy Hunt's budget last month. Not only was there an undershoot in spending, but receipts were lower than anticipated too. When looking at the figures, analysts have stated that the lower borrowing could give Hunt some wiggle room to make a few cuts to taxes or increase spending up until the next election. The national debt has also increased to more than £2.5 trillion, higher than it's been since the 1960s, due to the heavy borrowing that was needed to get people through the pandemic. A large proportion of the revenue came from a rise in tax payments, with consumers paying more in VAT due to high inflation, and income tax being boosted by self-assessed taxes. Corporation tax was also up by 15%, with the government introducing a windfall tax on North Sea oil and gas producers. However, the government has warned that they cannot borrow forever, and have a long-term plan to reduce the debt. We will now have to wait to see what changes are made with taxes and spending in the autumn statement. Overall, we now have the latest figures on state spending in the wake of the COVID pandemic and Putin's energy crisis, and while the deficit is still at a historically high level, it appears as though the government's budget cuts have somewhat worked to keep it lower than forecasted. If you've been following the news on state borrowing and would like to learn more, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates.